Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Kajuri Alameen. Extremely grateful to be among the living this morning. So very, very grateful. One of the many groups that I do is called What Are You Waiting For? What Are You Waiting For? We all go through these seasons. Sometimes we have to wait, which is very, very highly respected. It's a handout that I go in this particular group. I want to share with you this morning. And I'm going to go over the definitions of three things that keeps us waiting sometimes: excuses, accountability, and responsibility. The definition for excuses is to regard or ignore with indulgence, ponder or forgive, overlook fault or error. That's the definition of excuse. Accountability definition is subject to the obligation to report or justify something, responsible or answerable. Definition once again of accountability. And the definition for responsibility is the stated fact or quality of being responsible. Now, a lot of times we wait because we deal with excuses, we deal with accountability, we deal with responsibility. And it's very important, ladies and gentlemen, if you never take ownership for the success of your life, you will wallow in excuse mode. Accountability will be fragile at best, and responsibility will be non-existent. Feed your faith and malnutrition your fear. Remain focused when you're working your success. The energy to stay, maintain, or get healthy is an inside job. Let me read this again. The energy to stay, maintain, or get healthy is an inside job. How do you deal with yourself when you're by yourself? Regardless of all the groups that I do, ladies and gentlemen, I always manage to put this in my topic, whether it's individual, collectively, how the group may so manifest itself, because we're with us all the time. Once again, to get healthy is an inside job. Yes, it's great and necessary to learn from others, but ultimately your life depends upon you and your learning curve, so to speak. So there comes a time in life where we got to confront our excuses, then deal with them. We got to stop overlooking fault or error and just take ownership of our lives. There comes a time in life where we got to, as far as being accountable, say what you mean and mean what you say to yourself first before you go anywhere else. And also there will come a season where we are responsible for what we say, for what we do. And when you get to that point in your life, which is a process, let me say this again, it's a process. It's not overnight, it's over time. That gives you a degree of self-liberation. Self-liberation, even in seasons of adversity, even in seasons of prosperity, you don't sit back and sit on excuses. You don't sit back and not take accountability. You don't sit back and not take responsibility. But that is a growth process. You cannot do that if your self-esteem is not healthy. Once again, as I said a minute ago, to get healthy is an inside job. To maintain it is an inside job. A lot of people are walking around and they're dealing with excuses every day. It's always something. It's always something. Some people have a hard time being accountable. Some people have a very difficult time being responsible. But growth and development, ladies and gentlemen, is mandatory in all of our lives. It's mandatory in all of our lives. So I want to encourage you to get excited about that dynamic spirit that you see, because the spirit is housed in the body. The spirit is the meat. The spirit is housed in the body, but the spirit is what it's all about. Where are you at in your spirit this morning as far as being able to deal with excuses, to be able to be accountable, to be able to be responsible? And once again, this is something only you will know. Once again, because everywhere we go, we take us with us. And sometimes people have a tendency to forget that and want to minimize or rationalize it. But it's very important, ladies and gentlemen, for you to get to a point of growth and development, and we grow in degrees, okay? All of us do. To get to a point where to your own self you're very authentic, your own self you're very true. Because when you get to that point, life pushes you to another degree of excellence. But a lot of people are fighting growth and development. A lot of people don't want to go through the emotional and labor pains, I like to call it. But continue to grow in life, ladies and gentlemen. Life, like I said, once again, it's ebbs and flows. It's in and out. That's all a part of the process. I want to encourage you to flow with it. Flow with it, because how do we make good decisions? We learn from our bad. How do we make bad decisions? We learn from our good. We got to taste both. We were sitting here to leave a legacy of excellence. We're going to go through some pain. We're going to go through some gain. We're going to go through some ends. We're going to go through some outs. We're going to go through some hurts. We're going to go through some prosperity. It's all a part of the process. And anytime you go through something, ladies and gentlemen, I want to encourage you to focus on the lesson. If you ain't losing anything, focus on the lesson. One of the things I love to say, the school of experience is always open. There's no winter break. There's no summer break. There's no holiday break in life. We're going to live until we stop breathing. The school of experience never, ever closes. Never, ever closes. So whatever experience you go through and grow through, let it make you better, not bitter. But once again, ladies and gentlemen, what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? What's holding you back? Is it excuses? Is it accountability? Is it responsibility? Confront these things. It doesn't make you a bad person, but you need to go ahead and confront it, because if you don't confront it, it's going to confront you. And then when fear kicks in, fear will paralyze you, and then you will not move. And then all of a sudden you sabotage your success. That's why I said a minute ago, if you never take ownership for the success of your life, you will wallow in excuse mode. Accountability will be fragile at best, and responsibility will be non-existent. So I would encourage you to confront these three psychodynamics: excuses, accountability, and responsibility. Make them work for you. Make them work in your interest. It's very, very important, ladies and gentlemen. And remember not to forget, each day you are allowed to wake up in a new day that you've never seen before, in a new day that you will never see again. I want to encourage you to get excited about that dynamic, regardless of what's going through you and regardless of what you're going through. Because, ladies and gentlemen, this ride is very, very authentic. It's very, very predictable. It's very, very unpredictable. Do you realize every night somebody lay down in this world somewhere and never ever wake up again? Death leaves things unfinished. It leaves things unfinished. So I would encourage you to maximize your time to the best of your ability each and every day. Strive to grow in your gratitude. Let me say this again. Strive to grow in your gratitude. Be thankful for what you do have, because it opens up the windows for you to get more. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, what are you waiting for? Outgrow, confront excuses, confront accountability, confront responsibility, and go ahead on and live the dynamic life that you were sent here to live. Leave your legacy upon this earth. But that's why you were sent here, to do something great. Make it happen right now. Peace.